Hello, and welcome back to Misty Island. In the last episode, Krudius and Iveria created some reagents. They were sharing the cauldron and spellbook down in the Crestgloom cellar, and then they traveled over to the other families to try to break the curses. And they were somewhat successful, but also not completely. They are gonna need to confront Agreth in order to get things back to normal, and hopefully in order to break the curse on the island itself once and for all. So they are readying themselves for a fight, and in order to be prepared to confront her, they need to have as many reagents in their pockets as possible. So they're basically in the Crestgloom house here now to stock up on things that they need. They're gonna have to share the cauldron, of course, because they just have one. So they're gonna start by just heading into the house. And actually all of them are a little bit hungry. They are probably gonna start by having dinner. So Krudius is gonna head into the kitchen here to conjure something, because they, unlike the other families, they don't have anything in the pantry. So they're all settling down here together, and at this point they have started to really take comfort in each other and get to know each other quite well. So it's a very nice, warm and homey feeling at this point. You know, even though things are pretty dark and scary outside of these walls, they feel safe here, and they feel like, they at least they have each other and they can work things out together. So things are not completely for the worse, Things could be worse. So, with some food in his belly, I think that Krudius is gonna walk down to the cellar. And seeing Krudius leave, Audrey is going to just keep loading food into her mouth to finish her bowl of mac and cheese as quickly as possible so that she can join him downstairs. So Krudius is gonna go ahead and start by making dragon scales, I think, and also of course mystic dust. Those are the two ones that goes most quickly for him. It looks like Audrey has actually finished, and also Iveria and Roger have finished. So I think actually that Iveria sees the condition of this house, and she understands that Audrey has been living here alone, just a child, and things are in disarray, things are very dusty and not very well kept. So she's actually gonna go ahead and cast a spell, and it's the Appello Servantus spell. So she's gonna take some help from a magic helper that's gonna hopefully clean up the place a bit for them, make things a bit more homey and livable. So we have this servant here, gonna run around and take care of things. So she's gonna put away those leftovers. And then I think that she's actually gonna settle down here in this room. She's gonna light the fire and read through these diaries of Anora. Now that her old friend, her best friend, has passed, she is feeling sentimental, and since Krudius has drawn a lot of knowledge from those books, she thinks to herself that maybe she also can understand the situation better if she also reads that. Roger, on the other hand, is going to clean those up. He's not trusting the servant to do everything. He would rather rely on his own strong hands for things like this. So he's gonna clean those up, and looks like he needs some more fun. So I think he's gonna go back to the piano actually and spend a pleasant evening there playing music. Iveria is settled in front of the fireplace, having a great time. And similarly, Roger is also having a nice time, being able to take his mind off things as he's just focusing on the music. And Audrey is watching Krudius with interest. She was a bit young, really, when her mother was doing things like this. And after that point, she's only been watching her grandmother work on reagents and cast spells. So seeing a neutral warlock doing things like this is pretty interesting to her, and seems a lot more inviting than the dark curses and the dark stuff that her grandmother has been up to. And of course, it's also getting very late. It's 11:38 in the evening here, and Krudius is urging Audrey to go to bed without him, I think. She needs her rest, but Audrey is stubbornly staying here. As long as Krudius is going to be up and working, she's also going to stay up. Roger, on the other hand, is going to throw in the towel. And looks like Iveria has also made it in here. So I think that she's gonna go ahead and tell Roger that she's gonna call it a night. She's gonna head back to her house to sleep, and she will return in the morning. And yeah, Roger says, sure, have a good rest, and I'll see you in the morning. So she's gonna leave, and Roger is gonna head upstairs to, well, knowing Audrey and what happened last night, he's actually gonna take the kids' room and just assume that they're gonna wanna have the same arrangement this time. So it's very, very late now, and Krudius understands that if he isn't calling it quits, Audrey's gonna be here all night. So he's actually gonna stop this now, and he's gonna tell her, all right, time for bed, get up, and let's continue in the morning. There we go. And they're gonna go ahead and settle into bed, and we will rejoin them in the morning. So it's 6 in the morning, bright and early, and Krudius is gonna wake up as usual and let the others sleep. And he's actually gonna treat himself to a shower this morning, so he's gonna head into the bathroom here. And Krudius hasn't been sleeping that well. He's been plagued by dreams, confusing dreams that are blending into each other, both about terror, Agreth, and a lot of dangerous situations with wolves and things, and also pretty confusing thoughts about Iveria and pretty strange situations, and being flustered and unsure of himself. And he's feeling a bit tense this morning, not sure what to do about all of this. So he's gonna go downstairs, and he's gonna create some new food for them to eat for breakfast. The others can keep sleeping in if they want, but there's at least gonna be some nice, good food here for them when they wake up. And once again, Krudius is desperately bored, but I think that he can try to use this time in the morning that he has to himself to do what he can to make more reagents before Iveria needs to use it. So he's cleaned up after himself, and wasting little time, he's going to teleport down into the cellar. He does want to preserve his magical energy, but still time is of the essence at this point. So he's gonna go ahead here, and let's see what he needs. He still needs mystic dust, so he can start by doing that. And he is also aware that he might have to do some dangerous spell casting as well if they want to fight Agreth, and if worst comes to worst. So he's probably also gonna make some Viper's Essence, and also, well, actually Eye of Newt he already has, so he's gonna make Viper's Essence just to be ready for anything. And in the meanwhile, Audrey has actually also woken up, so she can make the bed. And she can also freshen up. And then she's also gonna have some breakfast. And of course, Roger is sleeping in, as usual. Krudius is done with the mystic dust, and now he's starting on the Viper's Essence. So let's see how many he can finish before he's too bored to continue. And actually Roger has woken up now as well, so he's gonna make the bed. And he can use the bathroom downstairs actually. And yeah, Krudius can't continue, he's too bored now, but he managed to actually not make a single one. Oh, okay. Maybe he can take a look at this little teddy bear to at least finish one bottle of Viper's Essence, you know. There we go. Let's try this again. Yeah, he's got 2 bottles now. It takes him a very long time to do this, and I think that has to do with him not being used to managing that reagent, so he's gonna teleport upstairs again. And he's gonna grab a second plate. An order is actually done, so she can go ahead and go upstairs and play with her dollhouse for now to get some fun up. And this is also when Iberia is turning up, so she's just gonna greet Roger and Krudius and let them know that she's gonna go ahead and use the cauldron. So she's gonna need more Essence of Light and Crystallized Moonbeams for sure. Let's start with those. That's actually pretty nice for Krudius, because now that he can't work on that, he can actually take some time to himself and try to bring up his fun a little bit. That's much needed after all this. And I think that Roger isn't much of an indoorsy person really. He would rather be outside doing something. So I think that he's gonna go up to Krudius and suggest that they do something for fun outside. He's gonna suggest that they go play kicky bag. And Audrey should be able to join. Or maybe kids can't. I guess she's gonna watch them. Ah, that was actually apparently Krudius' favorite hobby was sports, I see. Yeah, so they're gonna have a bit of fun outside in the sun. And Iberia is actually done here. Did you finish all of it? Looks like she might have. So I think that she's gonna make some more crystallized moonbeams and some mystic dust as well. So they've been playing around for a couple of hours, and Krudius has gained quite a lot of fun from this. So I think they're gonna put this away and head back inside again. Meanwhile, Iberia is still down here making the mystic dust at this point, I think. Oh, actually looks like she might have maxed out her magic skill now as well. So let's take a look here. Yes, actually. So she actually managed to study up her skill to max level, which is great for the upcoming fight. And let's see, she actually didn't get any new spells from that though. But still, she is max level and she is a lot more ready now than she was before. So she's got quite a few reagents here, but as you can see, it's still very limited, and Iberia is starting to feel drained from making all of these reagents, and she's starting to fear that all of these preparations, it won't be enough, and their time is starting to run out because they don't know what Agreth is up to, and if they leave things be for too long, they run a risk of her doing something even worse to the inhabitants of the island. So she's actually gonna go ahead and walk upstairs again. I'm just gonna go out here and look for Krudius. And of course he's coming out of the bathroom, and she's gonna tell him that I think I'm done for today, or for a while at least. I'm feeling exhausted from that, and I haven't been able to make as much progress as I had been hoping to do. And Krudius says, well, I feel the same. I've also been crafting reagents until I'm sick of it, and I don't know how we're gonna be able to do this with as little as we've got. And hearing them talk to each other, Audrey is gonna walk into the room, casting suspicious glances at Iberia. And she's gonna walk up to Krudius, trying to butt into the adults' conversation here. And she's gonna say, why don't you borrow some from Grandma then, if you need more stuff? And Krudius says, oh, your grandma's got a lot of reagents, does she? And Audrey says, yeah, of course, she's got shelves full of reagents, all kinds of things that you might need. And Krudius says, that's actually a pretty good idea. Well done, Audrey. I mean, if she's got piles of reagents that we can use, we should definitely pick those up. And that's also gonna remove resources from her. I mean, if she's at home, she might not be carrying everything that she needs on her. She might just use her storage. That's brilliant, actually. Could you lead us to this storage? And Audrey says, of course, I know all the best ways through the fortress. I can lead you to everywhere that you want to go. So Krudius has come up with this brilliant plan now with Audrey's help. They're actually gonna steal things from Agreth to get this working, and Iveria also thinks that that is a brilliant plan. So she's gonna give him a compliment and tell him that that's good thinking. Well done, Krudius. I don't think I would have been able to come up with that plan. And of course, Krudius is flustered and is saying that, well, thank you. People don't often appreciate my ideas, so that means a lot, actually. And Iveria is gonna ask, why is that? Don't you have good experiences with people? And Krudius tells her that, well, no, people often are afraid of me and they run the other way and they just think that I'm an evil warlock, basically. And Iveria is flirtily telling him that, well, have you considered maybe wearing something else than those wizard's robes with the spikes on the collar? And Krudius is like, well, don't you like my clothing? And she's telling him that, well, I could definitely make you something far more friendly looking, you know. This might be working against you if you go around in these kinds of robes. Not that you're not looking dashing or anything, you're wearing those robes very well, but maybe something else would be more helpful. And things are starting to go in another direction. Well, if I'm gonna look half as good as you, then maybe that's a good idea. Maybe you can figure something out. And Iveria is, of course, saying that I could give it a go. And Audrey is gonna be running up to Iveria and tease her about this, be very, very nasty and mean to her. And Krudius is gonna lecture her, like, what did you do that for? What are you meaning with those mean words? You should apologize right now. But Audrey is not listening to him at all, and she's gonna run upstairs to her bedroom. And while Krudius is like, what happened to her? And Iveria is like, I'm not sure. Did I do something wrong? And Krudius says that he will go upstairs and talk to the little girl. So Krudius finds little Audrey in her room, and he's gonna confront her and ask, you know, what's up? What is wrong with you? What did you do that for? And well, Audrey is telling him that she's trying to take you away from me. She's pretending to be this amazing good witch, but she's just faking it. And Krudius is trying to calm her down, trying to make her understand that she's not a threat to you. Of course, this is not something that you have to be worried about. She's just being kind, and you should try to be kind to her as well. Krudius is also taking this opportunity to have a candid conversation with her and saying that, you know, this is gonna be pretty dangerous. We're gonna confront your grandmother, and would you consider sitting this one out? But Audrey's like, of course not. No, I'm not gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna be with you every step of the way. If you're going into danger, I'm gonna come with you. So yeah, that didn't really work, but yeah, Krudius kind of knew that that was a lost cause from the start, so he's gonna admit defeat. He's gonna understand that Audrey is coming into danger, and there's nothing he can do to stop her, because if he tries to leave without her, he's convinced that she's gonna put herself into danger one way or another. So better bring her with him to keep an eye on her, and admittedly, he's gonna need her help in order to find that storage as well. So with that, Krudius and the others are gonna finish up here, gonna keep preparing for tomorrow. They're gonna sleep through the night to be fresh and ready tomorrow morning, and then they're gonna go to confront Agareth.